I know the feeling. You've spent a good chunk of money on a DJI Mavic 3, you're finally out in the field, and the next thing you know the gimbal arm is cracked or the motor makes that weird wobble. You start scrolling through Amazon, see a glossy photo of a gimbal repair kit, think you've found the solution, only to end up with a part that doesn't line up, a flimsy plastic piece, or a whole new set of instructions you never asked for. That kind of disappointment is why I wanted to make a video that actually saves you from buying the wrong thing. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's break down what the SeiZed gimbal repair parts for the Mavic 3 and Mavic 3 Cine really bring to the table, and whether they're the right fix for your drone. First, a little background on why gimbal repairs matter. The Mavic 3's 3-axis stabilization is one of its strongest selling points, but the arm modules and motors are also its most vulnerable parts. A hard landing, a bump into a branch, or even just wear and tear can leave you with a cracked arm, a motor that drifts, or a cover that no longer seals the camera properly. When that happens, the whole shooting experience suffers. You get shaky footage, you waste battery trying to recalibrate, and you're suddenly stuck on the ground while your client waits. The problem is that DJI's official repair service can be pricey and often takes several days, which isn't ideal if you're on a tight shooting schedule. That's where third-party kits like SeiZed claim to step in. They promise an essential and useful accessory that lets you replace the damaged component yourself, keep the drone flying, and avoid a service ticket. So, what exactly does this kit include? The listing says you get the specific arm module you need, the axis arm module, plus the matching motor and a set of protective covers. The parts are marketed as direct replacements for the OEM components, meaning they should bolt into the same mounting points, use the same wiring connectors, and maintain the original balance of the gimbal. The packaging is described as safe transportation with reliable package, which sounds like the kind of bubble-wrapped box you'd expect for a delicate electronic component. One thing the seller stresses is that you need to double-check the part number before you click buy. That's a practical reminder because the Mavic 3 line has a few variations, and ordering the wrong module could leave you with a piece that simply won't fit. Now, let's talk about who should actually consider buying this kit. If you're a hobbyist who's already comfortable swapping out small drone parts, you've changed propellers, maybe a battery, and you've watched a few YouTube teardown videos, this kit could be a cost-effective way to get your Mavic back in the air without waiting for a service center. It's also a good fit for location shooters who can't afford downtime. You can carry the spare arm and motor in your gear bag and do a quick swap on the spot, then keep filming. On the other hand, if your drone is still under the original DJI warranty, it's usually smarter to go through the official channel. Opening the gimbal and installing a non-OEM part could void that warranty, and you'd lose the protection that might cover other issues. Likewise, if you're not comfortable with a bit of screwdriver work, or you don't have a clean workspace to calibrate the gimbal after the swap, you might be better off sending it in for a professional repair. The kit isn't a plug-and-play solution. You'll need to follow a calibration routine in the DJI app after you replace the motor or arm, which takes a few minutes but is essential for smooth footage. From a practical standpoint, the biggest strength of this SeiZed kit is the match to the original specifications. Users who have posted pictures of the parts after unboxing note that the motor housing, the mounting brackets, and the cable connectors look identical to the OEM version. That similarity means you won't have to rebalance the whole camera system, a common headache when you replace a generic motor with something that's heavier or differently shaped. The kit also comes with the cover pieces, which many people overlook when they only order a motor. A missing cover can let dust or moisture get to the camera sensor, especially in low light or rainy environments, so having the full set helps preserve the camera's low light performance and overall reliability. Finally, the price point is considerably lower than sending the drone to DJI, which can run you a few $100s plus shipping. For a photographer who needs to stay within a tight budget, that savings can be the difference between getting the shot you need and having to rent a different drone. No product is without its downsides, and the SeiZed kit is no exception. The biggest practical weakness is the reliance on you getting the exact right part number. The listing makes a point of asking buyers to verify the part before ordering.